My God, what's good?
What's going on, Royal? How you been, man? How's your week been?
Little on the slow side, but another week, another day. How about yours?
Been good, man. Honestly, my week's been busy. Some weeks are kind of like that though, right? Last week was jam-packed with a whole bunch of things going on, but we're gonna get
Facts.
to it anyway. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're listening to us. We appreciate it. My name is Gatsby,
I'm Royal Rel.
and you are tuned in to the latest edition of State of the Week, brought to you by State Your Claim. And as always,
Hey, make sure y'all do these three things for us. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe. And also do us a favor and make sure you follow us on all socials. That's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
That's it. That's it. That's it. All right. You got any surprises for us this week, man? You like to keep some up your sleeve, man. What you got? What you got?
Yo, I don't have any surprises this week.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. This is just making sure, man.
Yeah, no surprises this week.
No surprises. All right.
None.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, look, let's get to it. Maybe not the busiest week, but definitely some interesting things going on. So me personally, I would like to start with GOAT, online reseller sneaker platform. Been around since 2015, announced some major news, right? The rollout, they put their name behind .com. So before we get there, let's just do a little quick history of GOAT and everything that they've kind of done. Again, GOAT has been around since 2015, founded by Eddie Liu and Daishan Sugano. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. 2018, they acquired Flight Club. Obviously, we both know the importance and the history. Everyone should know Flight Club. If you don't, do your Googles, do your history on the importance of the institution that is Flight Club. So go to acquire Flight Club in 2018. They then got into apparel, clothing, acquired Grail in 2022, right? So
Crazy.
then moving into a different space, real conglomerate. So this is kind of that idea of GOAT Group. And actually, as we talk about sneakers.com, which is the new rollout of GOAT, they actually own that domain for a couple years. So sneakers.com was actually owned by Walmart and another company, and then GOAT acquired that. So GOAT's been buying up a lot of entities over the
I
years,
see.
right? It's kind of crazy. So fast forward to last year, 2025, people on Reddit are starting to talk about sneakers.com. What is this? People are trying to understand, is this a real thing? Because you're seeing dead stock shoes that are way below retail, right? I'm talking about $50 to $70. Fast forward to this year, about a couple days ago, GOAT announced that they are behind sneakers.com. So we have this luxury high-end platform that sells grailed sneakers,
Right.
high-end items, streetwear pieces, and now they're selling shoes that are way, way discounted. So my question for you is, number one, how do you feel about it? And do you think that dilutes GOAT's brand? And what does that do for like sneaker and like, kind of like reselling and all that? So I know that was a lot.
I don't feel as though it dilutes their brand because 99% of the people won't do half the research that you or myself do.
Mm,
So they'll never know that GOAT is behind sneakers.com. All they're gonna do is just ask someone who's into sneakers, be like, "Yo, the sneakers they sell up there authentic?" Yeah, they're authentic, and that's as far as it's gonna go. So I don't think it dilutes their brand. I don't see anything the matter with getting the resellers money and getting the people who want discounted sneakers money. I don't see anything wrong with it. Money is money. It all spends the same. Everyone can't afford grailed sneakers. Everyone doesn't have, I don't know. I can't think of a sneaker. Everyone doesn't have, I'll just say the Alaska's because they just dropped. Everyone doesn't have $500-$600 for Alaska's. They just don't.
hmm
So, they can get sneakers at $70. They can get sneakers at $100. That's cool. And I'm all for that.
Right,
You know,
right.
tackle all
Okay,
markets.
right.
So how
As
you
you
feel
would like
about it?
to think. I mean, listen,
You was
like
about
you
to say
like to
it. Go ahead
say,
and say it.
get money,
Get
right?
money. Get money.
Get
Exactly.
money. And clearly GOAT is in the business of getting money. I think
Absolutely.
they're seeing, okay, we are not in that sneaker hype phase like we once were. I don't think that it's died. I don't think it's gone away, but I think it's a different mentality for people buying sneakers right now. You know,
What do you
people
think
are go
what
ahead,
do you
what were you
feel
gonna
that
say?
mentality is?
Well, I feel like people want to get things that are obtainable. I think the masses are after things that they can just put on and wear them repeatedly, wear the same shit repeatedly, rinse and repeat. And I also think people got a little bit of fatigue from losing, catching all these L's on shoes that they couldn't get. I mean, let's talk about it. It's hard to hit on sneakers. It's hard to get plugs. It's hard to access some of these things. So I think that coming out of the pandemic a couple years after, we're like, you know what? I'm done playing this game. Let me just get some Sambas. Let me dog my Air Forces out. I'll get a new pair, whatever the
Man,
case, whatever the case may be. But I agree with you. I don't think this is a bad thing. I look at this as kind of like Goat's digital outlet mall, right? You know, no
right.
one knocks Nike for having their Nike factory stores or the Nike outlets, right? Where you're buying product for, you know, significantly lower than what it costs in some of these retails. And oh, by the way, they are actually working with Nike. They're working with Adidas. They're working with New Balance, I believe, and a lot of other big doors that just can't move products. So my take is that I don't think that this hurts the resale market, but I do think that it does make a little bit of a divide from the standpoint is that resellers that are just bailing out some of these boutiques on shoes that are collecting dust, buying, listen, we all know that the kids with the IKEA bags, you know, and the green
Yeah,
trash, the black trash bags on the Sunday afternoons of these boutiques is coming in and cleaning up, helping these boutiques out. So I think that that probably hurts that side of the business for the resellers, but for VAA, Alaska, or, you know, whatever the brick after bricks, which we'll talk about a bit later, those are still going to maintain their value and it's still going to be hard to, you know, sneak items and the resellers are still going to eat off of that. So that's
right.
my take.
I mean, I I I I agree with everything you're saying. I just think that you mentioned the pandemic. I think the pandemic is a very, very can I say delusional?
You can.
It's a very delusional idea of what the sneaker market is. Like we're not gonna act like we don't know what people were going like what was going on during the pandemic. Everybody in America was technically balling.
Right. Right.
So you got pandas that are just a black and white GR dunk going for $300. That should have never happened. Everyone has money, so everyone got greedy. You know, people are buying all types of things for prices that they should have never been. Because let's say the pandemic never happens, a lot of this stuff never reaches this high. But because everyone had money, you know, everyone raised their prices. And that's,
Hmm.
and luxury brands did the same thing too. And then they realized like went back to their normal lives and they're trying to charge these prices and people no longer have the same money. And
That's
now
true.
here they are with these high prices and stuck with product that they can't move because they raised their prices and people don't have it. And what do they look like dropping their prices? You know, what do they look like as they say and what do they as they say in fashion? We look like slashing the prices. They can't.
Especially
So
luxury. That's
yeah,
that's
especially
that's
luxury.
that's
So
what that's not in their DNA to do,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's not. Yeah, they
They
can't do
only
that.
raise it. They only raise it.
Yeah,
It never.
it only goes up.
Right, it only goes up, you know what I mean? Unless you're
Yeah.
on Essence at the in the season, but you're still paying
Better
them
hope you
crazy
get your
tariff
shit from
costs.
us.
Right. Oh my god, for real, until they hit you with that 300 extra dollar fee on the back end.
Word. Thought you had a sale. Thought you caught a sale price.
Right, bang, you know,
Right.
something real crazy, but yeah, nah, I like this for GOAT. I don't think that this hurts them or their brand. I'm curious to see, okay, what does StockX have up their sleeves? Curious. I don't know. I don't know anything, but
Mhm.
you know, when you see their perhaps biggest competition, what does that what does that mean for them? What does eBay do with something like this? I don't know.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah. One last point I want to make. If anyone wants to discredit any of the product that's on sneakers.com, by the way, we're not getting paid to talk about them. Um,
Not at all.
but
I wish.
yeah, soon.
Yeah.
Get money, right?
Right, get money.
Always get your bread. But they also do Kate, the shoes. Apparently, that's what they're saying. So any of these shoes that you're buying, you can have that peace of mind that they're real, even though they already said that they're real. They got
Right.
somebody looking at them. I don't know. All right. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of GOAT
Nah,
and
I'm good.
sneakers.com?
Nah, I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good. I'm good.
All right, cool. All right, so let's move things forward. We'll move away from sneakers and footwear. Well, kind of, sort of, maybe, but let's talk about someone who's been a pillar within the design community, within different brands over the last several years. I want to talk about Matthew M. Williams. Okay, so it was recently announced that he was appointed as creative director for Oakley, specifically for footwear, apparel, and accessories. So, real quick, Matthew M. Williams had a very illustrious career, done a lot of stuff. A lot of people don't know he was a creative director for Lady Gaga with some of the things that she wore on stage. Obviously, we know him from Donda, working with Ye, Kanye West, Yeezy, whatever you want to call him. We know about Leaks, founded in 2015, done stuff with Nike, sneakers with Nike, Montclair, accessories with Dior, Givenchy, creative director for what, about 4 years,
Yeah.
which was kind of, mixed reviews on that one, right?
Yeah.
So now he's at Oakley. So what are your thoughts on this after maybe his last creative director role didn't really hit as hard? What are you thinking about this hire?
So, as you know, personally, I'm a fan of Matthew Williams.
Mhm.
Um, as you mentioned, for some of you who may not know, some of you who may be tuning in for the first time, Leaks, which was by Matthew Williams at the time, who was the owner at the time and creative director. That's how me and him, met. That's how we held our first conversation.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I feel as though he has his new, namesake label.
Yes. Speak
I
on that.
like I like I'm looking forward to the pieces to when I can finally get my hands on them. But my
Mhm.
problem with Matthew Williams is he's not too all over the place, but he's like a nomad. He makes his bed one place, he sleeps there, and then once he gets tired of it, he just goes to something else. And it's like, I don't think it's any stability with him. Like, I wish he'd find a place and make it his home and grow
Mm.
with that place. Cause he hasn't been around. He's been around, but as far as for the culture, 10 10 to 11 years actually putting yourself out there isn't really that long. And he's been a number of places. You named everywhere, and it's like, I wish he would just like stay somewhere
Mm.
and we see what it
Mhm.
becomes. Cause to me personally, 4 years in fashion is very fast.
Of
As soon
course.
as that, as soon as he was at Givenchy, he was right out the door.
It definitely seemed like
Yeah,
definitely seemed like that.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like it's like,
That was
yo,
the
bro.
fastest 4 years
Yeah,
ever, almost.
that's what I'm saying. And it's like now he's at Oakley. Do I feel like his design language meshes with Oakley's designs I've seen over the years? Absolutely. But
Mhm.
I'm like, what are we gonna get his design language? And then as soon as we finally get it, he's moved on to something else.
Right.
That's my problem with him.
Got you. Yeah, you know what? I would say this. I feel like it's, what do they say? You trying to fit like a peg in I'm really fucking this up right now. Trying to fit a peg in the square. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is that, yes, to your point, he collabs with a lot of different brands, but maybe the reason why he's a nomad is because the fit isn't there, right?
Not even collab. I mean, he's literally
Well,
being hired. Yeah,
for sure, you're right. Excuse me. That's
yeah.
the wrong term, right? But his creative director partnerships just don't seem to. haven't seemed to have landed. You know what I mean? Which is maybe why they're kind of quick stints, right? Or quicker stints. And then kind of like you said, that nomadic approach. I think he has a good opportunity here with Oakley because he has produced a lot of dope shit over the years, on some of Leak's pieces. I think obviously everyone knows him for the Cobra buckle, right? That's
Yeah,
probably
hard.
top tier, right? Hardware, accessories. I think that's where he really does a great job at. I mean, some of his shoes and silhouettes are also very much fire, but I think from a perspective of Oakley, given the fact that it's eyewear, it's accessories, I think he has that futuristic mindset, and
Yeah,
sometimes that doesn't like, I don't think that landed well with Givenchy because you're trying to bring these two worlds together with this kind of legacy high fashion, but then he's trying to, bring that futuristic mindset to it. And I don't think that the core consumer of that really appreciated that. Whereas Oakley, I feel like it's always been about very forward thinking product. They also recently hired Travis Scott 6 months
mhm,
ago as a chief visionary officer. So now you got Travis in there, and he's supposed to just handle storytelling. So Matthew and Williams is supposed to come in and really like design and make that product like super crispy and super futuristic. And I'm kind of curious to see what's going on. Also, I think between the two of them, they could probably change a little bit of that narrative of like what Oakley is and what it represents. When you and I were coming up, I feel like Oakley was prominent, right? We would see it with athletes and all that. Then I felt like it kind of took on a different type of connotation. But for that 21, 22-year-old person, they don't have that, history, that mental history of the brand. So I think although Matthew Williams is more like our age, so to speak,
right.
he's always designing accessories for the future. And, you have Travis in there, which is going to bring that youth audience, and hopefully he can educate them. I see it working pretty well. Oakley's already been doing pretty good work. Their footwear has been pretty fire over the last couple of years. The
Yeah,
things they've been doing, Brain Dead, Junior has worked with
yeah,
them.
right, and they digging in their archives and stuff. Yeah, it's been
Right, right. So I don't know. We'll see.
well,
We'll see what happens.
I will say this, I will say when
Yeah.
he worked at, when he took the Givenchy job,
Hmm.
I'll say he was doomed to fail from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because I felt as though he was gonna do bad work or anything. The whole thing
Hmm.
is this: Ricardo's shoes were very hard to fill,
Of
super hard to
course.
fill. Like,
Of course.
people still want those designs that he made, and on top of that, a lot of people much as many people want to front and act like they're into fashion, they're not into fashion. And, sometimes I find myself up here on a platform and I'm referring to, "Yo, the streets, the streets." This isn't my rules. These are the same rules that I live by. The same rules that I talk about are the same rules that I live by, and I didn't make them. The streets determine a lot of things. And as you know, people fell in love with Ricardo, you wanna call him TC, however you wanna RT,
Mhm.
however you wanna refer to him. People fell in love with his designs, and that was a lot of people's introduction to Givenchy. The rappers were all rapping about it and
Right,
everything, and
right.
people can't get over those designs. Now, were those designs immaculate? Absolutely. But a
Mhm.
lot of people can't get past that, and it's like you go from that, and then you try to transition to, they had a little bit of a layover, and then you try to transition to Matthew Williams. He was destined to fail from the beginning. Even
Yeah,
if
I
he did a
agree.
good job, it was such a drastic change that people were like, "No."
Right.
So,
Plus, I felt like Givenchy started to look a little too much like a Leaks,
yeah,
which,
yeah,
so again, it's like, well, what am I really buying? Like, if I'm a classic Givenchy shopper, what am I buying right now? Am I buying Matthew Williams elite shit that he's trying to maybe force on to the legacy of the brand?
right,
What is that? But are the shareholders saying that we need to get younger, we need to get cooler? Because also, this is that time where, a lot of these high fashion brands are in the logo mania. They're trying to tap into streetwear. They're
right.
they're trying to become cool. They want to get the streets. right? You know what I mean? Like they want to tap into the cool, but it doesn't land too well. Doesn't land too well. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
yeah, like definitely wasn't the best. Wasn't the best. Stint over at that brand, but I really like Matthew Williams.
Yeah, me
I
too.
like his stuff. I hope that this goes well for him.
I think it will. I think it
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. I think so too. I think so too. All right. Anything else we want to talk about in terms of Oakley, Matthew, and
Now
Williams? We
now we
good.
covered it, bro. We covered the
Okay. Cool.
spread.
Cool.
We
All right.
covered the spread.
All right. That's what's up. Okay. Something that really caught me off guard this week, and I want to know how you feel about it. I think it works, but again, really, really caught me off guard. Jeezy, we've been calling him Young Jeezy for a long time, but it is Jeezy right now. Starred in the Nigel Sylvester Brick After Brick campaign. Now talk about something making it make sense. How you feel about it?
Nigel's a bit of a hometown hero, so I can't really, I'm sort of
Nah,
this is one
he's
of the
Queens.
times where I have to.
He Queens, right?
Yeah, this is one of the times where I gotta, I'm biased. I'm not supposed to be, but, yo, shout out Dollar and shout out Cello. Yo, my guys. Yo, what up? But, the campaign's okay. It didn't blow me away, but it's
Mhm.
okay. I get the correlation. It doesn't hit as hard for me as I think it would have hit, back in the day, but neither one of them nah, neither one were, back then are where they are today, naturally. But campaign's cool, you know. The apparel's cool. The sneaker to me, in my opinion, is better than the original colorway.
So this is like a so you saying this is a not a sophomore slump.
Yeah, this is yeah, perfect. Nope, not at all. Not at all. But other than that, it's cool when people tap into legends and they make the correlation brick by brick. If you know what it is, you know what it is. So I respect it. It's cool.
Right. Okay. Nah, I you know what? Like I said, I didn't see this one coming, but actually when I started to go on to both of their IGs, I did see a post from Jeezy, I think from like March the 21st, where
Mhm.
he had Nigel in one of the slides, and I'm like, oh, okay. So very quietly, and they weren't showing any product, but and I don't know unless you knew you're part of Jeezy's team, you're part of Nigel's team, you're part of Brand Jordan, you probably would have known about it. But I like the young with the quote unquote old. I like that. I like seeing the gap being bridged
Mhm.
between I don't know if it's necessarily 2 different generations, but I think
Absolutely.
now
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think a lot of times now brands, they tend to tap into whoever the latest artist is, the artist has got the most followers, maybe doesn't have the best music or whatever, but just whoever's in at the moment, right? Obviously, like you said, we know the whole bricks thing with Jeezy, so whatever Snowman, 17.5, all that kind of stuff. I like it because I feel like at least there's some storytelling there from Nigel's perspective, talking about he listened to Jeezy, which we all did, which we all
Right.
did. You know what I
Right.
mean? Coming up, I guess you and I are more like college years, and Nigel's a little younger than us, right? So you know, but I like that. The apparel's fine. You know what I mean? I think it is what it is. Like, let's get straight to the shoes. But I do think this is cool to put Jeezy back into that conversation. So now the question is like, what's Jeezy gonna do after this? Now he does have his residency out in Vegas. So apparently he's been doing a great job of that. But I am curious to see what's next with it. I like the fact that they flew him up to New York. So although Jeezy's from the South, it still kind of, gets into that New York type thing. Do
Yeah.
you think that people from Queens and from different boroughs are probably like, damn, how come he didn't tap someone from the borough? You know what I mean? Do you think there's any of that going on or not?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Jeezy's name ring bells all over the East Coast. Like I have a homie shout out. Matter of fact, Rec from the Crate. Shout out Rec.
Mm.
Rec will tell you. Thug Motivation 101, yo, that's one of his favorites, you know?
I'm not mad at
So
that take. That's a
yeah,
classic
so
album to me.
yeah, so it's it's Jeezy. You know up here, like you always tell us in the town, we always like to, shun a lot of the southern music, but Jeezy is one of those guys who slipped through the cracks and we were bumping. Like he all the way, he all the way had our ears, so
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
no one's mad. I can't see anyone being mad about it.
Nah, definitely not. I mean, I remember the first time I heard Jeezy, he was young Jeezy. It was down in Atlanta. Shout out to my brother Elliot, being down at Morehouse. And man, oh man, that was something to see. That
That's
was
the first
something to
time you
see.
heard him?
I was down in Atlanta. I was down in Atlanta visiting him. That's the first time I heard him. So to hear him in that area and seeing like the commotion and everything. And this is
Yeah.
when he was starting to, do his Bad Boy South thing. He was starting to rev up with Boys in the Hood with Jody Breeze and all those guys,
Yeah.
essentially, all that it was Trap or Die. So
Yo,
I don't know, man.
the first time I heard Jeezy
Tell me.
was on BET Uncut, and he had that song with Bun B, and he had that fake ass Bape jersey on. That's
Oh,
the
right,
first time
money
I
over
heard
here, right? We get money over here, something like that, right?
he had that fake ass Bape jersey on. That's the first time I heard Jeezy, and then that
Man,
Boys in the Hood joint. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's someone with the fake Bape jersey."
yup, yup. That's crazy. Hey
Yeah,
man,
man. I just had to throw that out there, but
no, 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 no. That's all good. But but
respect to the legend.
but when he did that Soul Survivor video in Harlem, he had the real Bapeses on at that point. He had the real Bapeses on then.
That's in Brooklyn. He shot that in Brooklyn.
I was in Brooklyn. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
I actually was at Def Jam, was an intern, and I worked that video shoot. That was in Brooklyn.
All right, there we go. There we go. You heard it. You heard it here
I
first.
got the footage. I should show y'all some of the footage for that because I actually recorded
Hey man,
the
put it up.
custom snowman Air Force Ones, but yeah,
Put it
I
up.
was
Put it
there.
up. Put it up. Yeah, we would love that. We would love that. All right, so
Drop top Porsche, you couldn't walk a mile off in my Air Force. Hey, you ain't seen what I seen. I can get 100,000 in these Sean John jeans. Everybody already know he's a real street, and every time you see me out, I'm a real street. I hope you got yours, I keep mine. In the club, throwing gang signs. And you already know, dawg. 745s back to back, me and old dog.
So yeah, and then last but not least, obviously, people talk about sneaker of the year, this, that, and the third, the BAA, Virgil, not the off-white, not the off-white. I'm sorry, y'all. Get it in your heads. The VAA, Nike, Alaska Jordan 1. So everyone's had raffles go out this week worldwide. I think it's kind of been similar for most places.
Mhm.
You do the EQL, whatever. If you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. Some places did first come, first serve. But shout out to one of the sneaker boutiques here in New York, UP-NYC. So for their raffle, they did something completely different. They got people to go to a park, and you could win the raffle for a pair of Alaska Jordan 1s if you made a free throw. But you only get one. You only get one. It's not. It's like a 1-and-1. It's like a 1-and-1 situation. So you drill the free throw, you get the opportunity to cop the shoes. If you miss it, you don't. But what do you think about this? Bringing out community, getting people active, getting people outside, a little different approach.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Let it be known my shit would have been cash, but I like it though. It's not anything that I really like haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the skate shops, like it's been certain shoes, Nike
Oh,
SBs over
right.
the years that people had, and you got to hit a kick flip
Kick
or you
flip.
got to do a ollie, stuff like that.
Right. And wear the shoes out, something like that.
Yeah, wear the shoes out sometimes, but so it's along those lines. But I always think, like you said, anytime you can bring community together instead of just entering a raffle on your phone or coming to the store and dropping your name in a hat, it's cool. Respect it, and I'm all for it.
Right, right. I think the one thing I just noticed in the footage is that people were genuinely happy. like it almost seemed like it was a competition. You know, basketball is a sport, right?
They had a chance for once. They had a real chance.
Every like, yo, if I just make this shot, right, I can buy a pair of these at retail. And even the people who miss their free throws, it just seemed like they weren't so upset about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, you know, that again, we talk about people feeling defeated when they don't hit on the raffle or they're unable to get the shoe. They've been waiting in line all night or for hours on
Right,
end. I
right,
don't know. I think maybe it took a little bit of the emotion out of it and have people feeling like a kid again. I don't know, but I thought it was cool. Now, to your point, it's not the first time we've seen this. Last year, you know, Tom Sachs with his 3.0s had that app, right? Where
right.
wanted you to be active, and if you did certain things, they wanted you to shoot like trash hoops and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Then you can accumulate points, and you too could have gotten the shoe. You could be a wear tester or something like that. So you're right. It is not something that we haven't seen before, but at the same time, I give them props for going viral on doing something different.
yeah,
So
absolutely, absolutely.
so
Respect, respect to
so
them.
so respect to them, respect to them. But yeah, that's all I have. But you
Well, I
know,
got one more thing. I
a
got one
guy
more
like
thing.
Royal got something else. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So, of course, I got a trick up my sleeve.
Oh, well, hold on. But you said you didn't. You said you
No,
didn't.
listen. So recently, I've seen this post floating around. A couple people sent it to me. You might have got sent to you as well. But I got to ask you people something. Who, when, and where in the fuck told y'all it was ever cool to wear fake sneakers? When was this cool? When was this cool? So apparently, according to 222 Much Mag, when when the cool kicks were reps, 2002 to 2004, let me tell you something. I never had a fake pair of sneakers in my life. It was never cool. Just because y'all were buying fake shit does not make it cool. So all the people who was really into culture, it was never cool. And never, all my Jordans came from the store. They wasn't, and I'm talking about Foot Locker. I'm talking about all the boutiques. I'm not, the Nords, the Recons, the Clientels, the Paragon, all the stores that had sneakers back in the days. I never ever had a fake pair of sneakers. And on top of that, shout out to Brock, shout out to Sneaker Pimp Joe. And that's when in 2003, I was copping Bapes for 400. And they were like the two people in the US who had them. Brock, who was friends with Pharrell, used to get them from Pharrell. And Sneaker Pimp Joe had a connect over in Japan. And I used to buy my Bapes from those guys. I never had fake Bapes either. Back before Bape even opened up a store. Because we all know it came in 2004. I had real sneakers. I never, ever in my life thought fake sneakers was cool. You guys had these Jordan 8s and all these wild colors. Y'all was on coolkicks.com. You guys had them.
A
I
lot.
remember everyone in college had them fake ass charcoal black nines that didn't exist. And like, come on, man. Stop. What's your opinion on that, bro?
So you know what's interesting because some of the rappers were also wearing them fakes
Yeah, I just told you
around
Jeezy
the
had the fake ones, Soldier
no no
Boy with
no
the fake thing. Fab,
Fab
yeah, Fab got caught. He got ousted a couple
Fab
times,
had plenty. He
and
had
he wasn't
plenty.
valid for that. He wasn't valid for that. Fab, you weren't valid.
I want to say Drake had on some fake Jordan 5s at
You
one
gotta
point.
you probably would have to send me the picture. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
show me.
yeah, yeah. Look, I never been one to this is my thing. If it's not within my reach, if it's not for me, then I don't need to have it, right?
Right.
I'm not going to reach out there and get the inauthentic thing. That was never my thing. Listen, people people out there now the RB grades, the RB grades, you know what I mean? You
No, we're
people got
talking about the trade. You see, you're talking about that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about.
I
I'm gonna
know,
tell you.
but
We're
see
talking about you.
now
No,
you
we're
got
talking about
me
you,
just thinking.
SpongeBob Jordan niggas. You SpongeBob Jordan niggas was out of line, and y'all SpongeBob Jordan niggas is still out of line. I'll never forgive them for those. That's what we're
I never
talking about.
owned a pair. I never owned a pair of fakes. I will tell you that. I will tell you that. To each his own, man, because I feel like, you know, people try to jump out there just to be cool and look different.
and match their jerseys and all this other
Right.
stuff. You was
Right.
some
Right. Right.
matching bootleg fools. That's what y'all niggas was. But that's I don't even know why they tried to even come out with that article saying it was cool. No, it was not cool.
Hey
It was
man,
not cool.
listen, on a slow week, people start reaching for shit. And this is how we get to
Yeah.
that. You know, you make up stories, and here's the thing, you got newer audiences coming into the game and they're like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that was cool. Maybe I should. No, you shouldn't. But then this is why we had these discussions where we really peel the curtain back and really tell that true story. This is actually, we could actually be talking about this for a long time.
Very long time.
We could actually be talking about this for a long time. I don't know how y'all feel. If y'all want us to talk about this as a full episode,
Drop it in the comments.
let us know. Let us know.
Facts, let us know, man. But you
Yeah.
know, that was it. That was my little trick. That was it. You know.
So you lied to me. You lied because I asked you in the beginning, and you said, "Nah, man, I ain't got none." And then that's all right, though.
It wouldn't have been as impactful. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But
I get it.
don't worry, they're gonna see the, you know, as at this point, they've already seen the pictures that I posted on the screen. So, you know, you guys can make your own judgment. All I can say is couldn't be me, wouldn't be me.
All I'm gonna say is it wasn't me.
Yeah,
On
it
my
wasn't
shaggy
me.
shit.
Wasn't
It
me.
wasn't me. It was not me. Yeah.
Anything else on the table? That was it from me.
No, that's it. That's it. Another edition of State of the Week. Just want to say that definitely check us out on YouTube. All the
Please.
episodes are up there.
Please.
Episode 3, Who's the Best Rap Duo of All Time, featuring our guy Ben Blacken. We appreciate him for joining us. That's up
Absolutely.
there. Let us know how you feel about that. And we're going to talk more about music as well moving forward. You can always catch us on the weekly, serving up that high-end fast food for you. You know what I mean? And then we're going to hit you with that Sunday dinner style with these more well-built out episodes as well. So, you know, stick with us. We're going to stick by you.
Absolutely. So, bouncing off what he said, make sure you guys like, make sure you guys comment, and make sure you guys subscribe. And as I always say,
Tell them.
I can't say it enough. If you like something, you're dick riding. If you don't, you're hating. With that said, do
Please do you. And we appreciate you all.
always.
I'm Gatsby,
I'm Royal Rel.
and this has been another edition of State of the Week. Be well, be safe, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Facts. I'm out of here. Peace.
Claim your